Fantastic. Welcome to virtual networking for fun and profit. That is this one, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
And I don't need these right now.
No, you really don't.
That's
Although now I do need you to go forward.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. It's like our slides need a jump start. We just ordered. When you do these, it's always good to have a really cool clicker. And I'm not sure what is the challenge with our clicker.
I don't know either.
Oh well, we'll find out.
But yeah, I put you forward, you went back, and then it didn't work.
Yep.
Oh well.
By the way, you'll get all sorts of marketing tips as we go through. The first tip: if you are doing presentations, you very much should have a all rights reserved copyright slide. Make sure that you have one of those. If you want the copy or something like that, send us an email, info@uloft.creative, and we'll give you ours. So just so you have that. And Amazon, please bring us a new clicker.
Next week, unfortunately. I know we have to wait till next week.
So we have to go through Social Media Day on Friday.
Yes.
Uh-oh. That's like 3 hours of this.
I understand.
Oh, well. So our world, first world problem. It really is.
It is.
Sorry. Our world has changed. Have you noticed in the last several months, things have changed, but what's really happened, calling on my economics degree, is that you've seen the world condensed. A recession was going to happen, and all signs were pointing toward later this year, 2021. So what happened was that it got condensed. Now, here's the kicker, though. We haven't lived through a business situation like this before. Pandemic plus recession is, well, that's interesting. As the saying goes, the Chinese saying, may you live in interesting times.
And we do.
Yeah. So we started in February, Sharon and I started looking at all of our presentations and trying to figure out what was going to happen and come up, and we did pretty well. What jumped out immediately was that Charles Darwin's book, Origin of Species, came to mind. And in his book, again, this is 1859, not talking about your business, but if you look at evolution in general, he said it isn't the strongest of the species or the most intelligent that survive. It's the ones that can adapt. And the good news is that this isn't the first time we've been in situations like this. If you've been in business for a while, you had recession in 7-8. I go back to, I think the first time I was selling in a recessionary period was 80s.
Yeah, probably.
But now we literally have a captive audience. So there's the good side of it. Here's some more good news as you read the slide and you say, wait a minute, 429 of the original 500 business. Yeah, those are really big companies. And we know that if you're on this webinar, you probably are a small business owner, and that's awesome. Our information is geared toward you. And
you are far more adaptable than those big companies. Right?
If you're a visitor to Sharon and my webinars, you'll know that we always have a note sheet on our table, because even while we're teaching, we take notes on different things. Hey, we should do this is more often how that starts. Sometimes we share it with the listeners because it's we want you to know that having a really good idea is wonderful, but we want you to remember to put it into immediate action. And at the end of this, I'm jumping ahead a couple of slides already.
A couple.
At the end of today, one of the things that you're going to be challenged to do is take immediate action. Which is one of the reasons you should be taking notes, because we're going to say, okay, what were the most important notes that you took, and we're going to give you a tip on how to use those. So we had to adapt our business. Usually we are in front of you physically, and Although I guess it could be said we are physically in front of them. We're just
physically
two-dimensional instead of
them.
three. I look much.
We are not sharing the same air.
I look much slimmer on the screen than I do on that screen. We normally are doing this in front of anywhere between 500 and 500 people. So our business had to adapt, and our biggest question, and yours too, is what do you do when your number one way to do business, in this case we're talking about networking, disappears. And our number one way is networking one way or another, whether we are speaking in front of a group, taking part in a networking group, taking part at some chamber event. It was our number one way. So we had to pivot, and we're going to talk about that quite a bit today. So a little bit of a warning. You're about to be told the truth.
You're okay with the truth, right?
I hope you're okay with the truth. You've all been told this before. You've all read this before. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, I wanted to use the quote, but I couldn't figure out who exactly
to attribute it
to, because I saw memes for several people.
You sure it wasn't Abraham Lincoln? How come that was
I don't know.
He seems to say everything.
Because Abraham Lincoln said you can't believe everything you hear on the internet.
That's why I thought it would be.
So that was his famous quote.
Yeah.
So go back to the furthest one back and understand that you have to be planning. So the big myth is that your marketing is now easy, and this was even before COVID hit, with the invent of the internet and all of the technological wonders. It was as easy as clicking your mouse. I think we all know that's not really the case. So today, here's what you're going to learn. How to explain yourself online, how to leverage your social media. And I heard you mention that we're going to do an entire day, 2 different sessions on social media on Friday. The beginning session is at 10, and then the advanced is at noon. I just did a meme for it that's going to go to our social media that shares that. So 2 90-minute ones, those will be free, and we'll leverage. Well, we're going to teach you how to leverage it right now, but we'll show you how to do it on Friday. The best way to reach out, a whole bunch of ways to reactivate stale leads. How to get and use podcasts, how to use video, a whole bunch of ways to follow up. Oh, this is a really good one. I like this. This is one of my favorites because we teach an awful lot. And you're also going to get a couple of freebies. On your screen, lower right-hand corner, is a report we did for our clients. Best ways to get on, be found on the internet during COVID-19. You can have that for free, and we'll show you how to get that at the end. If you're not here at the end, you're not going to hear it. Sorry. Okay, so that was cool. You want to get between high tech and personal touch. The mistake most people who discover online marketing, the big mistake they make is that they think that the technology will do it for you. And it's still not the case. Example, you hear the words social media every day, and they have become like a 1-2 words combined into one, social media. We forget the first word is
social.
Yeah, we're social animals. So we want to make sure that the personal touch, the personal part of our business is taken care of. So what we want to do is we want to teach you to do this to your competitors. Now, in this case, you're the cat. Just want to share that. Now, that slide is there for a reason. At some point, you may see across your screen a cat walk across. One of our cats has decided that our studio on our table right over here, just off, is her spot. So, apologies in advance. If you see a cat,
see her, you may hear her.
Yeah, if you think you saw a cat, you did. So, word about questions. Your Sharon explained. You can put them into the chat. We're going to try and hold them till the end. Here's why. Honest reason. When we're in front of you, literally, not virtually, real, in real life,
in person.
In person.
less than 6 feet apart.
We know that people have questions, and they just ask their questions out loud. And what we have found over time is that tends to throw us off. And your question is probably great, but it may not be great for the room. So putting it in the chat or holding it till the end will help you get a much better answer from us. So that we can just keep getting through. They only give us a certain amount of time, and we want to make sure that we respect your time, and we want to make sure that, because we know you have other things to do today. Just a little bit about us. We had a podcast called The Marketing Checklist. Went 243 episodes. We decided we were going to take a couple of month break. We stopped in November. Let's pick it up in February or so. We just thought, 243 weeks in a row, a break would be good. Then COVID hit. Oops. And what we're doing is we're relaunching that this month. In fact, I don't know if it is the next slide. We'll tell you about that on the next slide because it benefits you. We've been interviewed by ABC's Secret Millionaire, James Malinchak, and Kevin Harrington, who was one of the first 3 sharks hired for Shark Tank. He was on the first 3 seasons. We do our marketing boot camps twice a year. The next ones are going to come up in September.
They're having a volume challenge.
Sorry. Here. You know what? Here's what it is. I try not to talk too loudly.
Oh.
Let me set mine up. That should be better. I think that'll be better. Okay. See that now? I can tell I'm peaking, and I don't know. I'm going to set it up on this side. There we go. So we do our boot camp a couple times a year, and the next one will be in September. Those are going to be virtual. We normally do those in person. We give away tickets for free. Honestly, we've kind of figured we're not going to put you all in a ballroom and for 2.5 days. It's just not going to happen.
We just don't see having a party of 50 being reasonable in September.
So we're going to do it virtually, and if you want, again, at the end, we're going to give you a free seat if you'd like it. And we have an online marketing plan called the Small Business Marketing Plan. So that's a little bit about us. Our podcast is going to change, and we're turning into a viewcast interview where we interview successful leaders. They're really long. They're 7 minutes and 21 seconds long. That's because our anniversary is July 21. We are relaunching on July 21. If you want to see what it's about, the info is at theviewcast.com. And if you want to be on it, send an email to info@uloftcreative.com. We'll send you the questions. You answer the questions. You send them back to us, and we see if you qualify to be on the show. We'll probably do 2 or 3 of those a week when we get them ramped up. And again, the idea is from beginning to end, it's about 10 minutes. The interview is 7 minutes, 21 seconds, because we know that people want to absorb information quickly. So that's coming up. And again, if you want to be on it and you want to promote yourself, this is a cool way to promote you. And we make it really easy, and the questions are designed to make you look very good.
I put those links in the chat for you.
We've shown up in a whole bunch of different media in the last year, get interviewed quite often. We've got 6 different books that have all been Amazon bestsellers. So that's just a little bit about us and how one of the things that we do can benefit you. Let's start with understand that you are playing the long game. We're assuming that if you're on the webinar, you're planning on being in business for a while. And you've got some concerns about what's going on in the world, and you should have them. But don't panic, because panic isn't going to help. Understand that the main ways that you've sold have changed. Here's what it used to be. You would be talking to a prospect, and they would say, well, why you, why not one of your competitors? And you had that in your mind. You had competitors. Why you, why not someone else? But what has changed with COVID is in a very short period of time, the buying habits of the public have shifted. And there's a third question, why you, why your competitor? Third question that has to be answered. It's always been there, but it was always answered very quickly and it was answered first. Before someone even asked you about your business and to ask you to give them more business information about your business, they were answering this question first. And that third question is, why answer? Why buy at all? Here's an example. I'm not sure if the slide is in here. I thought it might have been the next one, but it's not. If you go back to January, and if your DVR has TV shows still from January, ours does. We planned ahead, and you saw a Domino's pizza ad. The Domino's pizza ad was talking about how great their pizzas are and all the different ingredients. Great pizza was the main message. Then COVID hit, and the third question had to be answered first. I'd like a pizza, but that means a stranger coming to my door and they've touched my pizza and my food. They had to answer the first question, the third question first. It wasn't, I want a pizza, which one of the delivery services are we going to use? It was, do we get one at all? They answered that by shifting completely, and Papa John's was right on their tail, and it was contactless delivery. And now when you look at all the deliveries, it's all the places that do that, it's all contactless delivery. Car dealers, same thing. We've seen Carvana do it. We can bring you your car, and we'll never touch it. So you're answering that third question first. And when you're networking, that is going to be one of the questions that you're going to have to answer is, why buy? So how do you capture their attention? When we are networking online, we have a shorter attention span, short attention span theater. So we want to give you the concept of the sidewalk sign. When you're walking down a mall.
Do you remember those?
I do, yeah. You used to walk down a mall, and outside of a store would be a sign with a special or some attention-grabbing comment.
Like you see here on the screen.
Yep. We were walking through the mall in Scottsdale, and I said, Sharon, stand here. I need a picture. She said, why? I don't need shoes. I said, yes, but I need a picture to go on our presentation. So they were talking about Shoeaholics Anonymous. They were trying to be funny, and that's awesome. Being funny is excellent. Showing a benefit. Marketing is getting your potential clients to raise their hand. And a sidewalk sign, or a sign you're putting on the internet, or how when we teach you all of this stuff we're going to teach in a little bit, we want you to think in terms of short messages as a sidewalk sign. Marketing gets them to raise their hand so that when they raise their hand, they're saying, yes, I would like you to sell me, in quotes. I would like you to give me more information. We don't want to dump everything on them right away because they haven't even told us they have an interest. Does that make sense? Awesome. So your sign equals come on in. And not everybody's going to come in. That's okay. So we want to, who are you giving your signs to? We want to teach you how this works. Meet Harriet. Harriet is one of our avatars. I hate the word, which is why we use the word avatar. Harriet is one of our targets, one of the people that when we meet them, we know, this is somebody that because of a track record, is going to be interested in what we do. And in this case, this is a promotional product one. This isn't a business coaching one. I've met her only about 8 times in my entire career, which is why when I meet a Harriet, I know what our relationship is going to be like. I know it's going to be kind of special. By the way, in your chat, there's 4 pictures there. When you figure out which one is Harriet, type it into the chat. She's 45 to 60 years old, married, has a couple of kids. Self-designates as Christian, although one was Jewish. That was an outlier. Her job is that she is the right-hand person of the guy that owns the company. It's always been a guy, and Harriet's always been a woman. By the way, Harriet is named for my grandfather, who was Harry, but it's a female avatar, so it's Harriet. I've met Harriets or Harriet that I thought they were going to be a Harriet, but when I found out it was a woman that owned the company, it never works. It's always been that dynamic. She runs HR, marketing, the physical plant. Most of them are college educated. That isn't a real factor. and vacations tend to revolve around their grandkids. So how does this help us when we're networking? When I meet somebody, Sharon meets somebody, we're looking for the right people. You're looking for the right people. You're looking for the people that are fans of what you do in general, but once they know that you do it better, they're going to become screaming, raving fans of what you do. But identifying who your targets are allows you to change your messaging in the proper way.
The other reason to know, who Harriet is, and apparently nobody has any guesses. So, the other reason to know who
I was going to give away a book.
Harriet is that when you're networking, some of the people that you're meeting, virtually or in person, right, doesn't matter. Some of them are not your Harriet, but they might be able to introduce you to Harriet. But unless you can describe to them who Harriet is, you're not going to be as successful in getting those referrals, right? If you tell me, well, my ideal client, my Harriet, is anyone that needs financial services, okay, well, I'm not likely to know that from a networking meeting or a phone call or something like that, right? I need a little more information. If you can describe the way Hank has described Harriet to you, then I'm much more inclined when I'm there to be able to go, oh, you know what? That person looks like who Daniel told me his Harriet is. That's probably a good referral. Right? Yep. So that's the other reason to know. Okay, so we have some questions. So Daniel was guessing C and Jordan said A.
Oh, it's close. Actually, Harriet is both C and D. We give it to both. That's an older picture of Gloria at C. I met her when she was younger than that, and Melody was used to run an orthodontic office, and Gloria was the right-hand person of the guy that ran Time Warner in Southern California. If anyone complained to Dean about Gloria, guess which person was the one that was allowed to find employment in other places? Never Gloria. And I knew by knowing the Harriet, I also knew how they needed to be serviced. I knew that my phone calls with Gloria were going to go something like this. I would see her number pop up. I would say, hey, Gloria, how are you? Knowing that she wasn't going to answer the question. It was going to be, Hank, we need more jackets. Come see me on Thursday. Click. I don't think she ever heard me say, okay, Gloria, bye. Never. Emails from Melody. We need this, and we need these promo products. Get them ordered. Thanks. She didn't want me to come back with anything in the email other than, got it, ordered, here's your delivery date. They've got too much to do. But knowing what their life is like, knowing what Harriet's life is like, allows us to sell to them better, to service their needs better. And that's what makes your customers loyal, if you're able to know what they need. Now, let's use the financial services example. You said, if you said to somebody, I'm a financial planner, well, that's great, but let's take that further. I'm a financial planner that works mostly with people that are a few years into their career, and they're just starting to think about investing. Or it could be, I'm a financial planner. My wheelhouse is those people that have been in the marketplace for a while. They're in their late 40s, early 50s. They're starting to think about retirement, because I am awesome at retirement plans. So it allows people to not put you in a box, but put you in the right box that allows them to refer to you better. So the better you can explain who your customer is to anyone, someone, everyone, no one, the better it'll work for you. Hope that makes sense. Over the next 10 years, how much is it worth if you discover who your Harriet is? This is worth the investment of time to figure out who it is. And one of the ways you do that is with demographics and psychographics.
And it's not to say that you have only one Harriet, right? So let me explain that to you. On your screen is a picture of 4 women, right? We're going to ignore the infant who's not a buying unit. These 4 women in this example, they all need a car, right? 4 different Harriets, they all need a car, but they don't all need the same car. they don't need a car for the same reasons.
Nope.
The benefits and features that attract them are going to be different, right? So if you're a good car salesman, your message, your sidewalk sign is going to be different to each of those 4 Harriets. And the same thing is true for your product or service, right? Each of these 4 may be a different Harriet. They might benefit from your product or service, but the reason they are coming to you, the message, the sidewalk sign that will attract them is going to be different.
Yep, the one on the right needs the Ferrari. we just watched Ford versus Ferrari, that movie. Hadn't seen it. And it's awesome. So cool. She's definitely the Ferrari. So the physicalities of the demographics are one thing, but the psychographics are another. People don't read. Yeah,
You speak for a living.
I do.
They don't buy for logical reasons.
Thank you.
They buy for emotional reasons, and then they use logic to back it up to prove to themselves that their emotions were correct.
Absolutely. And here's an example of how we use them. Our trade show booth is on the screen. Our trade show booth is based on Lucy's psychiatry booth from Peanuts. We had always wanted to do this. Actually, I sold Sharon on the idea. I always thought this would be a great trade show booth. So we asked a whole lot of our customers, what do you think of this? And every one of them didn't just have a, yeah, that's neat answer. It was, oh, that's so cool. That was the response. So that what that means to us is that we know our trade show booth triggers our Harriets to want to say hello. Wouldn't it be great if you could do your marketing so that your clients self-selected and came up to you instead of you having to reach out and grab them? That's the whole purpose of that trade show booth. If someone stands there and doesn't have an idea of what it is, they're probably not our Harriet. And it's odd that we found this out. It was happenstance. We were probably going to use the trade show booth anyway, but we found out, wow, there's a really strong reaction. And when we use it out in public, we get that reaction. And
well, truth be told, if our clients hadn't had that reaction when you showed them the idea, we probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, this gave me cover.
But it gave you, it
gave me total cover to have Helene.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah, so Helene at 360autoaz.com. Thank you, because she had her minions build it. She's a ASE certified master mechanic. She's the only woman in northern Arizona that owns a shop that has that certification. And I told her I wanted to do this. She goes, "Oh, I could have my minions do that," because she mostly hires high school kids, and she's training them to be master mechanics. So she said, "Yeah, we have some downtime time. I could have them build it because I had the plans." She said, "Oh yeah," and then she took the plans, pretty much tossed them out the window, and built it the way she wanted to. And so,
welcome to Helene's life.
Yep. So, one more thing. Sometimes it's how you implement your idea that's important. Take some time to do it the right way. As an example, I went to a mixer. It was a networking event. They were having
before COVID.
Yes, they were having it was a Sprinkles cupcake shop in Westlake, California. In a mall, they were doing the ribbon cutting. And I looked to the side of the building, to the left of their door, and the mall had put this guest comment card up. And I thought, well, that's a really cool thing. The mall wants to know what we think. Isn't that a cool idea? The challenge is it's behind that plant. So a really good idea implemented not so well, can ruin a really good idea. So how you put your ideas into action makes a difference. You don't want to have people text while they're driving. So that's not
passenger text.
Yep, that money should have been spent a different way. And when we were in Washington, D.C. visiting Sharon's mom, we were walking down the neighborhood and we saw this moving truck. Yeah, so they evidently only had a certain amount of size for the magnet. They could have used the size a little bit better. So,
oh dear.
Implementation. All right, how do you explain yourself? Kind of important. By the way, I want to take a note. I need different photos here. Well,
You don't like these photos?
I don't.
Do you like these photos?
I think I have better photos.
Okay.
So those are...
You're not going to make me stand there with a bag over my head.
I'm really not.
Okay.
Swear to God, I will never. No bag should ever be on top of that pretty head. So most of the time when we meet someone, hi, my name is. Hi, my name is. And that's killing your business. And you may not know it. Here's why. We have a left brain, we have a right brain. And on both sides, cat hiss, sorry. Two of our cats were playing chase. They went right behind our desk over here where the third cat was sleeping and disturbed her. So.
Fun with cats.
I know. So here's how this works. Have you ever been in the shower and had a really great idea?
Yes.
Okay. Here's why that happened. Your subconscious, saw that you were doing the whole hair washing thing, etc., and all that stuff, and said, I've been here. I don't have to be here before, for this. I've seen it before, and I'm going to go work on other stuff. And your subconscious goes down the hall and starts working on other things. You might have had a thought, how am I going to reach out to this particular customer? When I was in college, I was the ad manager for the newspaper, and when I began our Friday afternoon sales meetings, we did our sales meetings Friday afternoon because I wanted to make sure my reps were working. I was a great guy. They would say their general attitude would be, oh God, because I would start quite often with, while I was in the shower day, I had a really good idea of a special issue, because that's where the ideas came to me. So when you say, hi, my name is, and you're in some networking situation, even if it's on a Zoom call and everyone's going around the room introducing themselves, by saying, hi, my name is, your subconscious is going to hear, oh, I've heard this, it's going to think, I've heard this before, I don't need to be here, I'm not going to bother paying attention.
Which is why none of us can ever remember anyone else's name.
So when you say this, you're falling into the same challenge. So when it's your turn to introduce yourself, virtually, in person, this makes no difference. We want to give you a couple of different ways. There are, here's three different ways. You know how well I, this is my favorite one. You know how people always complain they don't have enough money to retire? Well, I'm the one that gets them started, or I'm the one that works with people that, that are looking for ways to do that. Can you picture? Let's see. Who else? Is there someone else? Do we have another client in the room that I can make one up for?
I had the chat up, not the attendee.
Okay, it's all right. Can you picture your marketing being so much easier than it is? Well, we're the ones that create the easy button. We are the ones that push the easy button for you. Let's think of.
Anyone need one?
Yeah, does anyone need one?
Just type it in.
This makes it so much more fun. This is where us doing this in person is so much easier.
Type in the chat what your profession is. What's the box that you tend to be put in?
Yep.
And Hank will give you one.
So here's why we do it this way. We want to make it
biblical counselor.
Okay, one sec. By biblical counselor, you teach the Bible to people? Question mark? Because I have one.
She didn't answer.
Do you ever wonder how people come up with those biblical quotes? Do you ever wonder if people that use biblical quotes have the right one? Well, I can show you how to make sure you've got the right one for the right quote for the right situation.
Little photo booth bus.
Oh, how cool. For parties? That's awesome.
I'm assuming.
Can you imagine the party you show? Can you imagine people talking about the party you threw for months and years afterwards? Well, I create those memories. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is really true. We were at an event that had a photo thing like that. Those photos are on my desk. 3 photos of Sharon and I. They are on my desk right now. So that one totally works.
It totally works. The biblical counselor says it's grief counseling dealing with trauma, not comical.
Oh. So it's grief counseling from a religious point of view?
I'm going to make an assumption, if she said biblical counselor, that it's from a religious point of view.
Oh, let's take it to a third person referral.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard?
Who do you know?
No. Here's one.
Yeah.
Have you ever read on Facebook somebody mention that someone close to them passed and you didn't have the right words? You know, I help you and them through that. You know, or that's a good referral. And you talk about how that's a good referral. Those are the people when someone has that, they should think of you, because that's an important job. Well done.
And Sherry, I may have someone for you. She's in process, and the process is important. So,
yeah.
you know, I don't want to butt into her, you know, too soon, right?
She just lost her husband.
Yeah, it's been, I think, 10 weeks now. I'm amazed that it's already 10 weeks.
Yeah.
But
make sure we connect.
Yeah. I may have someone that needs you.
So you should write these down. You know, how will I? Can you picture will I? Have you ever will I? What we want you to do is this. When you have one or two of them, send them to us in an email and let us help you wordsmith it. Here's the key, you don't want that you don't want that to just be your regular elevator speech. You want it to be as quick as possible, maybe one sentence. The shorter it is, the better. You know how hard it is to get your business marketed and find new clients? Well, we short circuit that and make it a lot faster. Get the point? Cool. Warning. Here are two things that are going to turn people off. Actually, or two things that are going to make everyone's subconscious go, sure. Great service and low price.
There is no one out there that's going to say, I give terrible service.
And I'm
price.
And we're the highest.
Yeah. Now there are some people that will say, well, I'm not the lowest price, but I'm a good value, and this is why. So not everyone is racing to the bottom to give low price, which is a good thing, because we would advise that for you and our clients as well.
Yeah. So just the fact that, you know, do you wish you had a tailor that gave the fastest service in the world? Well, sure. No, I'm willing to wait for my suit for an extra week if it's going to be fit perfectly. I miss suits.
I do not.
Yeah. I very much miss the suit and tie. So let's talk about your verbal business card. You're gonna need to take notes here.
They weren't already?
Well, I hope so. So, do you hear that?
He's very talkative this morning.
Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys can actually hear him. Yeah, close him out.
Well, I didn't really close it. Anyway.
So your verbal business card must always have the call to action and an offer. It's the thing that you say at the end, usually see me. Try not to use the words, feel free to call me, because that's one of those phrases that your subconscious has heard over and over. Connect with me at the end of the meeting for your free. Get your free marketing consultation. There are a lot of ways that we offer them. Don't ever say, my website is, and if you start with the www, I want you to hear me right now. Ready? Stop that! Everyone's subconscious just went, oh God, don't they know we don't need to say the W's? We get it. Just say, here's my website. It's yourmarketingadvisor.com. It's freemarketingconsultation.com. It's theviewcast.com. We don't need the W's anymore, and it completely slows your flow. Also, giving your phone number in the middle of your verbal business card, not necessary. Nobody's writing it down off of a Zoom call, or say I'll have it in the chat, and then you put it into the chat. Let the time that you have to give your business card, your verbal business card, allow it to talk about how you benefit them instead of all of the contact info. If you get their attention and what you're saying speaks to them, they will reach out. Let's not hit them with it. We reach out with it. Okay? Cool. Let's talk about leveraging your social media. How often you have to be on it, which platforms. How often should someone be on their social media pages?
Every day.
Really?
I know, I'm sorry.
Actually, I want to check something.
Okay. Every day.
Like every day?
Every day.
Like,
right
does that
now,
include?
we're gonna talk about this more on Friday during Social Media Day, but right now during this COVID time, if you're saying, okay, well, every day, but when every day? 10 a.m. Actually, we would say just before 10 a.m. because if your Harriet is going on social media at 10, we want your message to be right there. So not too far, within the last, 9:45, 9:50, 9:55, somewhere in there, so that when Harriet goes on at 10, your stuff's right there.
I want to show you how that works and why. When you're on your Facebook, and I'm just using Facebook because that app opens all the time. You have it here and you just start scrolling. You're going back geographically in time. Archaeologically in time. Ooh. Something from Darren I want to talk about. So you want to be there as close to the beginning as possible because they're only going to be there for a little while. So that's why looking at the insights on your business page, and all of them allow you to do this, will let you know when your Harriets are watching. You do have to be there every day. This is horrible news for some of you. I realize that. I apologize for it.
Consistency is key.
But if you're blogging once a week, that's great. But if you're on your social media once a week, that hurts. The consistency factor is so much more important on that social media because not everyone will know to go to your website. But if you give them more chances on your social media to go to your website, that's helpful.
Well, and it triggers the algorithm as well, right? If you're only on your social media once a week, once every other day, once every third day, every day for 2 days, and then not for a week and a half for the next one, right? It's inconsistent. The algorithm isn't paying attention to you. You're just not. You're not triggering it to show your stuff to your Harriet. So if you're there every day and you're being consistent, then the algorithm kicks in, right, so to speak.
Now let's talk business versus personal for a second.
Yep.
I'll talk about mine because
we're different.
We're different. My Facebook page, if we were friends on Facebook, in fact, I have 40 friend spots left. Go for it. If you want to know how to do your social media, come find my social media page. My social media page, I post about 7 out of 10 are personal and 3 out of the 10 are business. My job on social media is to get somebody off of social media to our website. Your job in networking on social media is to get them off of your social media pages to your website. Your social media page is rental property. Your website is property on the internet that you own. So look at all of your social media time as networking to get them to your website where they can find out a lot more about you and purchase your product. Your social media sites could go away. Google Plus disappeared. So if Google could take down Google Plus, Facebook and Twitter, they could go away. They very much could. So understand that's where you are and you're playing, but you want to get people used to going to your website to get the information. And if you're not there every day, the algorithms in every platform assume you're not using the platform to do business. And let's look at this from their point of view. There's a reason that Facebook and Twitter and all of those, there's a reason they're free. They're selling ads. If you're using your page a lot, you're more helpful to them than somebody that doesn't. So they're going to put your posts up more often. You've probably all seen people that don't have much of a following on social media, but, the same 25 people are the only ones that see my posts, so do me a favor and just hit hello. You've seen that. It's like a 70-word thing tells you what to do. It's complete.
Okay.
Great word. It's complete garbage. When I look at those folks, they're usually the people that have 50 Facebook friends or something, 100 Facebook friends. And no, people aren't going to use it because they're not using it all the time. On my posts, I regularly am well over 100 as far as the interaction, well over, and which isn't great, but it's better than, it puts me in the top 10% on Facebook. So the idea is to give enough content, and granted, social, try and make it amusing or heartfelt, that Facebook gets used to putting your stuff up there. Now, I use the word Facebook a lot. It's kind of, for me, shorthand for social media. The platform that you're using,
it's true for all of them.
Yeah, the platform that you're using is going to depend on which Harriet you're trying to attract. If your business is B2B, you should be on LinkedIn more. If it's B2C, then Facebook is cool. If they're women 35 and under,
and your stuff is visual, right? Instagram and Pinterest.
If your target market is, if they're teenagers and early 20s, then you should be on Snapchat and TikTok. Now TikTok is only 3 years old, but oh my goodness,
it's getting a lot of attention. Yeah.
And a lot of very large companies start to put ads and have a presence there because they're playing the long game. Remember, one of the first slides we said was playing the long game. If you're going to be around for a while and you want people to get used to your brand, then you're there. If I was Pepsi or Coke or any other sugary liquid, I'd be advertising there and have a really cool presence because you want to develop early buying habits. Think of Disney. If I was, Disney, I'd make the Disney, make that Disney Channel free. Yeah, you have to pay for Disney Plus. But we know, because here's the psychology of it. All of us have a positive impression of Mickey Mouse, and it started when we were younger. So when we get older and we have kids, grandchildren, etc., we have a positive image of Mickey. So what do we share with our kids? Mickey. Mickey's programming in the morning, very wholesome. The Mickey Mouse Club. What is it? The Mouse House. It's all just really cool, easy, nice, fun, colorful stuff. But the end goal is to get you to the park. The end goal is to get you to buy the videos. The end goal is sales. But their funnel, they're all over that. They want to start really young and get them started. So if you're playing the long game, yeah, you might want to look at different platforms. Now, Sharon and I are a little different. LinkedIn and Facebook are the strongest ones for us. 12% of our business comes from Facebook. We've figured that one out pretty well for us and clients. But we're there every day. Our business page, 3 or 4 times a day, there's some marketing tip. Go to the UOF Creative. If you want to see a really good way to R&D your page, that's rip off and duplicate. Go to the UOF Creative page and scroll back. You will start to see patterns. We have memes several times a day. They're all marketing tips. We have 5 different types of memes that rotate through. We get our audience used to engaging real quickly. And on each one, there's a call to action. Here's what to do next. So on your social media posts, you very much do want to have that call to action. Here's what, if you want more information. Let's say you wrote a blog on your website. Please, thank you. Good job. We'd love you to write some blogs. Then you share the link onto your social media sites with a couple sentences of, here's this blog. It'll interest you if you are such and such. Now, you want to talk about links and how those links should work? If you're sharing your blog.
Yeah. So if you're sharing your blog on social media, it's going to link back to your website, which is fine. It's great. It's a breadcrumb, brings them back. That's awesome. If you're sharing someone else's stuff, and you're going to bring them back to that person's website, we would say do it a little differently. Don't have the link in the description, right? So you're going to say something about why you're sharing that thing. But omit the link from the description and put it in the first comment, and say in that description the link to that post is in the description, the first comment. The reason for that is you're taking them off of their social media platform, whatever that is, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, doesn't matter. You're taking them off of that, and the algorithm knows that you're about to take them off because you're giving them a link that doesn't say facebook.com or linkedin.com, right? It knows. So it's going to show your post less than someone that's not taking them off. But if you put it in the comment, then your reader, your Harriet, will still know to go check that out, but it won't trigger the algorithm to not show the post. So put it in the comment.
It's a really important one. And going back to our notes, I have a picture of our incubator page. I'm going to switch that out for our regular page.
Okay.
We have, and it's okay to have a lot of different pages. We have a private page for our coaching clients. We have our company page, and we have a few others for different things. We have a promotional product one. We have various different sales funnels. Honestly, if you look at your social media page, the way we should all look at it as a sales funnel. We have a lot of different pages. Now, I say a sales funnel, but it doesn't mean that every one of your posts should be buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It's, here's some cool information. Would you like more? Get them to raise their hand. And when they raise their hand for more, then you start a longer conversation of, here's what I've got. Here's why it helps you. Here's what's in it for you. And here's how you buy it and make it your own. So the big difference is, as opposed to going on your social media and say, I have this, let's use us. Buy the social media, buy the small business marketing plan. If we just, all we did was put a meme up there that said, buy the small business, it's like, well, that's going to turn you off. But if we just start giving you marketing tip after marketing tip after marketing tip, and you get used to coming to our page for the marketing tips, eventually you might want to, which is cool. But otherwise, we're fine giving you lots of free marketing tips. It's wonderful. So this was an important slide. We're going to give you a couple bonuses. How do you do real world stuff and do it online? This was a question that we had when we were looking at changing all of our presentations. We have this slide. And on this slide, we talk about, in our boot camp, we're talking about if you have a retail store getting people in the business, and Casa de Flores on Ventura Boulevard in Encino puts a different name up there every day, and what they're doing is they're telling 100,000 cars, hey, if you're in the 100,000 cars, if today it's your birthday, turn right into our parking lot and come get a free rose. And we wanted to figure out a way we could make that an online magnet. So here's what we've started doing. You could do this today. We have books. You may not have written 6 books. That's okay. You've got something. You have some free report. You have some really cool information that someone would be willing to give you their email address for so you can send it. Now, in this case, we're just saying, hey, if you want to order a book, send us an email. Or, since we put this on our social media sites pages, a lot of people are just putting into the comments, oh, hey, my name's Kate. I'd like my book. Which one would you like? And we send it to them. So what are we doing when they say they want your free report? Now, in this case, the Marketing Checklist 2, 49 More Simple Ways to Master Your Marketing. When they say, oh, I want that book, what I'm doing really is sending them information, and it becomes a salesperson for us. It sits on their hard drive, as it were, and lets them know, hey, here's some marketing information. Your free report, 7 ways to choose the best financial planner. The 12 the 12 Bible verses that will make you feel better every day, I would actually opt in for that. I want to see what those are. What you're doing is you're giving them something. And it's okay that it's free. We've already had a new client that we started this in April. We've already had one new client that wanted the book, that got the book, read the book, called us, and wanted to talk about coaching. And we're doing this every day. Now, right now, we're in the middle of a part where I'm saying, if your name is, Betty or Barney, or Thelma and Louise are coming up. I think I did Lucy and Ricky, for those of you that are a little older, and Fred and Ethel. So we're in the amusing part. Now, what if somebody raises their hand and say, my name isn't Kate, but can I have your book? What do you think our answer is? Which book would you like? We don't care. If someone raises their hand, again, they see our books in the meme, and they say, oh, those look interesting. Hey, if they're willing to raise their hand and say, I'd like one, marketing is getting them to raise their hand. So, yeah, we're going to send them. Which one would you like? Absolutely. The rules for this are pretty much, yeah, we're putting a name up there, but if you want one, just send us a note.
I will tell you, the most amusing one I got was someone who said, well, my mom told me that if I had been a boy, that would have been my name, so can I have your book?
Yes, absolutely. Here, for that story, you get two.
That was great.
And if someone asks for two, sure. I understand that when you've created your free report, or in our case, we've written 6 books, our hard costs are done with the book. We've written them, and now it's a sales tool. So giving away some free information on your social media is a wonderful way to get them to come back every day. And you'll see the one on the right, that meme on the right. When they win, we do create those memes, and we send those out. And I've got like a dozen of those I have to put into circulation so far. Now, we'll only put those up twice, because we're getting continual winners. I think we've given out over 100 books since April. So
I think you may only put them out twice, but I think they go out more often on LinkedIn.
Okay. I'm okay
and
with
LinkedIn
that.
and Twitter, I think.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
So
he does the Facebook, in case you care how we divvy up our business. Maybe you don't care, but he handles the Facebook stuff, and then I take what he did on Facebook, and then I syndicate it to the other platforms that we're on.
It's how we break down our marketing.
I don't know that you care, but
one of the reason we do that is it keeps us both in the loop of what we're doing to market our own business. So if you have a partner, it might be good for you to divvy it up and then confer all your notes. We work with a lot of 2-person businesses that are, either they're married or they're related or there's just 2 people. And we find it beneficial for you, this is just if you have a partner, if one of you doesn't do all of it. So
yeah.
This is how we divvy it.
We just learned something new about Cindy.
Did we?
Yes. Her opposite gender birth name, had she been born a guy.
Oh, wait a minute. Cindy, do you really want me to know this?
Why?
It's going to come back.
Okay, fine, I won't.
All right, here's a bonus tip. When we were watching, tell me later. When we were watching SpaceX send up their first manned rocket last month, one of the engineers was on camera talking about one of their next projects, a rover going to Mars, and they had pictures of the rover, how it will look when it's on Mars. And he said, we even added some Easter eggs into the pictures to make people more interested in seeing the pictures, which caught my attention. I had heard of the concept of Easter eggs, and going back to the Disneyland reference, when we walk around Disneyland, we look for the hidden Mickeys, Easter eggs, win a prize for it. So he said, yeah, we've drawn Alf into the rocks, and there's all sorts of little things that if you look at the pictures long enough, you're going to see some cool stuff. So we created, and what's on your screen now, the Easter egg meme. And we're starting to post that on social media. We've only done this a couple of times. In fact, I think the Easter egg is still up.
You think?
I think it is.
Well, if you didn't take it down,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still up as I sit here thinking about it. Here's how it works. Remember, you want to get people off of social media, and we want to get them to your website. So when you've got friends, this is a really cool thing to do with your friends on social media. Tag them and say, hey, I've hidden an Easter egg on my website. Go find it and you win this prize. Could be any number of cool prizes. Now, we don't hide it difficultly or in a difficult way.
Difficult?
I don't know. I talk for a living. We make it very easy to find the Easter egg. And when they find it, they let us know and we send them gifts. So we're trying to have fun. And again, all of the more fun you can have when you're networking on social media, the better it's going to be for you. So this is the Easter egg bonus. You're the 5th group that's heard this. We had the idea. We put it into action. We told our mastermind call the following Monday, so the people that were on that call got it. We put it into our client group, and I think this is the 3rd webinar where we've mentioned it. So this is a brand new idea. Rip off and duplicate it. You could have this done tomorrow. You could find some Easter egg artwork, grab. I mean, obviously I didn't make this really difficult, and you could start using this tomorrow. So how is it best to reach out?
I tend to ask. That's my default, is to ask. What's the best way to follow up with you? Now, that doesn't mean it's the only way I'm going to follow up with that person, but it is good to know what their favorite way is, right? Yeah. If they prefer that I text, or they prefer that I call, or they prefer that I email, then that's going to be my first go-to, right? And I'm going to keep that information in the database. Now, it may be a physical piece of paper database, but I'm going to keep that information. But if they don't respond in what they tell me is their favorite way, I'm going to try other ways.
Does that mean that if they respond that that's their favorite way, that that's the only way forever you're going to contact with them?
Well, no. Like I said, right? So it's going to be what my default, right? They tell me their favorite way to text. My default's going to be, oh, it's time to check in. I'm going to text. But if they don't respond to that text, then I'm going to try something else, right? I may try email, or I may try a phone call, right? Maybe it depends. But it's going to be my default first shot.
Here's the real world application. We have a follow-up list, and we send our follow-up list all sorts of free info. Here's our blog. In fact, we'll start doing it with the Viewcast. It'll start be, hey, we have 2 new episodes of the Viewcast up, and we'll say, who's on it, and what maybe one tidbit of what they shared. Go listen. It's only 7 minutes 21 seconds each. So we're not, our emails aren't buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It's here's some free info. We, because of COVID, have switched a little bit, and we had a project. We have 2 different mailers. The first one went out a month ago, and we found out that we got business from it. And the next one is ready to go out. Next one of us that leaves the house is bringing it to the post office. It's only It's only a mailing of 75. It's not a huge mailing, but we put inside it. We've put free information, a free promotional product a free gift. In fact, there's what's really cool. And one of them, the one that's going out, there's a really cool thing. One of these things that goes on the back of your phone, so that when you hold your phone. Isn't that cool? It's magic. We were at the national we were speaking at the National Promotional Products Trade Show in January, so we got to go on the floor early.
All this COVID stuff.
And we met the company that makes these, and that's cool. So I said, go ahead and put one on the back of my phone. If it's there in 3 months, I'll buy. So we bought some as a self promo, and now we're sending them out because we only promote things that to our clients that work. So we're sending out one of those. social media cheat sheet, one of our blogs, just a whole bunch of cool information. It's a different way of reaching out to the same audience that we've met in various ways. Now, email really is easy. It is easy. But we all get a lot of emails. We do. I mean, we get...
That's not to say they don't work.
Yeah.
Right? Don't misunderstand him. Email marketing is still a great tool.
It is.
It's just not your only tool.
Yeah. So the mailing that we're going to send out is, I think it's like $2 an envelope cost. So for $150, we're going to reach out to 75 people that have raised their hand at some point and gotten on our list. So we'll see how that works. Now, this will be the second mailing to that list, so we know that just by the numbers, we know that more people will raise their hand, because it's the nature of marketing.
That slide's not in here.
No, that slide isn't in here. So
what he's referring to is that
80%, or it might be. I don't know.
80% of your sales.
I don't know.
Are if it's here, then you'll see it and you'll go, oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
80% of sales are made between the 5th and 12th touch. So this is just two different mailings. These are two of those 5 to 12 touches.
So varying how you do it. Yeah. And sometimes reaching out to somebody that you've met and just sending a text. Hey, thought of you today. Hope you're having a wonderful day. See ya.
Or during this COVID time, you might want to just do person-to-person, kind of, hey, I thought about you today. How are you doing during this COVID time?
Now, those have to be one at a time. You can't send out a group text. Yeah. That's breaking the rules.
It's not as personal, and people are more likely to ignore them. And
yep.
Opt out.
Now, this is something that you could be watching television and scrolling through your phone at the same time. Copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send. We always get response. We get a nice high percentage of people that respond. Hey, thanks for that. Now, every now and then there's oh, yeah, hey, by the way, we need more T-shirts. Or, hey, we need to schedule a coaching call. Or something. But that isn't the goal. That isn't our goal. Our goal is just reaching out and being human. And that is what networking is. You're being the human person. You're being the one that wants to connect. In fact, I want to talk about that for a second. One of the best ways that you could use your social media, and I'm not sure I think we passed the slide. Yeah. Write this down. When you're going through your social media, when you're doing the archaeological dig and, going through time, look for the people that are looking for things. Here's an example. Yesterday, Kimberly Baudonaro, we have been friends forever. I mean, it's in terms of business, like I'm going to say
actual friends or Facebook friends?
Actual friends.
Okay.
We met at Calabasas Chamber. She was the president of the chamber at the time, so I got to know her because she was the president of the chamber. So I did my networking thing there. You always get to know the president of the organization. We became friends. She loves the Beastie Boys, so whenever I see some Beastie Boys reference, I always tag her, and it's kind of cool. Anyway, I didn't know she was an artist until yesterday, and I got a Kim wants you to like her artist page. Okay, when I'm going through my social media, I am looking for people that are putting out requests. Doesn't mean you have to like every page. I don't like every page, but Kim's a friend. And my message to her was, would it make sense for you to be connected with any gallery owners? Instantly, yes, thank you. So I connected her with...
There are actually artists that tell us no.
Yeah, I don't understand them.
So it's always good to ask.
Yeah.
Don't just connect without asking.
So I made a connection with the gallery owner. And now, what does that do for me? Nothing. I connected to human beings. So I got some karma points.
Good moment.
Yeah, but business-wise, I just connected two people. Now, if they get on the phone,
when
they get on the phone, they have nothing in common except one thing. Who are they going to talk about? So on that side, I'm bringing people together and I'm trying to help one person in their business just because.
Well, it is a win-win,
yeah.
right? If she connects with that gallery owner, I don't just mean has a conversation with him, but actually there's a connection,
yeah.
right? And he's able to show her stuff, right? So it does benefit her, but it now also brings content to his gallery that he can sell. He gets a piece of that sale. So it's a win-win, absolutely, between those two people.
Now, I've been in that gallery several times.
Yeah.
And I know the kind of stuff he sells, and I know the price points he tends to sell. And I did look at her site. I said, oh, her price points kind of match, and the things she's creating that looks like a really nice match. So I wasn't just connecting to connect, but in this case, the switch flipped, and I was like, yeah, really need to reach out and ask. When somebody that says, does anyone have a plumber? In fact, before we started here,
yes.
You read one. Somebody was
yes.
looking for somebody that did hair and makeup in Sedona.
Sedona replied stuff, but yeah. Yeah.
So Sharon connected to someone we know that we're not sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're not sure, but we think, and if that person that we're going to connect her to.
We have to submit it to Cindy.
Yeah. Cindy, it was Roxy. So we're not sure if Roxy does the actual hair and makeup. Not sure, but Roxy sure as heck will. Now, here's what that would do. We connect a friend on Facebook with somebody else who connects them with somebody else. So now there's three people actually in a networking chain. You do that enough times, it does come back. There is that law of reciprocity that very much works if you're working it. It doesn't mean you can just, I'm going to manifest things. We live in Sedona. I'm going to manifest this to happen. That isn't it. The time you're investing, you're on your social media, you're actually looking to put people together. Become known as a networker. And we'll talk about that in a few slides of how to do that.
And it's not a one-to-one, right? It's not because we referred Roxy that Roxy's going to refer back to us.
No.
Karma doesn't work that way. But it does work in that if you are putting out what you want back, you'll get it back. It just may be from someplace else that you weren't expecting. It's not usually a one-to-one direct response.
I mean, it would be nice if the world worked that way, but it doesn't. Understand that it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And some of that is numbers. You're going to want to do that. So, how many of you are doing rubber band marketing?
What?
Be honest. We're all doing it. We've all done it. I've done it. In fact,
maybe?
the picture that's on your screen is evidence that I have done rubber band marketing. That is when you've met a whole bunch of people and you've got their cards and they're on your desk. You haven't reached out to them yet, so you put them in a rubber band based on which event you were at so that you can more easily organize the networking and the follow-ups that you have to do. I know none of you have ever done that. It's only me. But again, that picture, actual rubber band marking that I have done. One of the ways that you can reactivate stale leads, because once you put them in the rubber band, they're pretty well stale. You haven't followed up. You very much need to follow up right away, no matter how you connect with somebody. We use a customer relationship manager. CRM is the term we're going to use from this point on. A CRM is an online tool that kind of taps you on the shoulder and lets you know that it's time to follow up and with who to follow up. There are tons of them out there. Some are free, some are not. We're not selling one here. We used to use one of the very most expensive ones, and now we use one that's inexpensive. We have found that using the free ones isn't as effective, and the ones
you get what you don't pay for.
Yeah. So, but know that if you're at that starting point, yeah, there are some that are free. If you want to know which one we're using later, we can send you a link. Understand that we are affiliates with that, so if you were to sign up, we would make a buck, but there are.
And we may be switching to a different one.
I know. She's in charge of testing them. As soon as I get used to using one, oh, by the way, so, but whether it's free or whether you're investing some money every month, this is a whole lot better than trusting yourself to go through the rubber band. You're just not going to do it. And it's human nature. You're reticent to pick up the phone. In fact, if you have phone reticence, may I make a suggestion? Grab a yellow sticky or a black Sharpie, and on the back of your phone, write the letters, or somewhere I could put on the silver part of mine, the letters ATM, because every time you pick up the phone, relate it to making money. Because if your phone rings or if you call somebody, you are closer to a sale. So if you start to look at your phone in terms of it's an ATM, then your call reticence goes away. And I mention it during rubber band marketing because that's, again, I have been there. I have been in your shoes. So that tends to be how it works. We do have a rubber band marketing thing, don't we?
Yes, I do remember you putting one together. Again, this is his lane, not mine. But I do remember you telling me that if people went to rubberbandmarketing.com, they would get something.
It's a really cool prize package. I'll let you know that, and I think it's rubberbandmarketing.com. When Sharon's talking next, I'll look it up. And if it's different, so look it up. It's an internal page on our website that gives you this really awesome, huge prize package. So feel free.
The question isn't, does it exist? The question is that the right URL?
Yeah, it could be. The page exists. I just want to make sure we have the right URL. Hi, my name's Hank. I'm a URL-aholic. So yesterday we bought thebestofsedona.com. Not sure where we're using it yet, but it's gonna be very helpful for some of our clients.
Cindy said yes, it's right. Thank you, Cindy.
Oh, it is. Thanks, Cindy. What we're probably going to do with that page is we're probably going to set up a page on our website with links to all of our clients in Sedona. So when somebody types in, well, what's the best thing to do in Sedona, our webpage will pop up with thebestofsedona.com, and it'll just refer to all of our clients in the area. Kind of cool, huh? Networking. It's, helping clients. Oh, it is there. Rubberbandmarketing.com. If you want that package,
it's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Just go. Look, it's really cool. I'm just sharing that with you. We tend to give away more than but what the heck. Get booked on podcasts. One of the best things to be able to share with your group, in your email list, with everyone that you've met. Hey, I was on this podcast. Check it out. We've been on lots of them. It's fun. Now, being interviewed by James Malinchak was really cool. If you want to see how that went, it's on the front page of our website. Step one, get interviewed by somebody famous. I understand.
Well, depending on who it is, we might be able to help you with that.
Might be. So, getting booked on podcasts, it is easier than you would think. The proliferation of podcasts, which is, say that 10 times, has kind of exploded in the last year. Your Harriets are looking for podcasts to listen to. So you want to get on the podcast that they are listening to. Example, you don't want to be on a podcast that is designed for financial planners.
If you're a financial planner.
If you're a financial planner. You want to be booked on a podcast that talks about financial security or financial success. Because we were booked on a podcast that is for the building industry, and it's like, well, that's odd. Yeah, but our Harriets are small business owners, and when we talked to the guy, he said, yeah, almost every one of our businesses has 40 people and under. Really? And the people that listen to it are the owners? Yep. We'd love to be on that podcast. When would you like to? we have now here are the tips. You have to create a list of about 10 to 12 questions that you can answer, and you have to write the answers.
That you can ask.
That they can ask you, and the answers that you're going to give.
Oh, okay.
You shouldn't make those answers way too long. Like 2 or 3 sentences is great, because the podcaster wants to make sure that you can demonstrate your expertise, but also that they're going to get a word in edgewise. When we were doing the hour-long version of our podcast, we learned the hard way. Either we would get a 12-minute answer, or we would get a yes or no answer, both of which are bad. Because on their podcast, they have to go to breaks. They have things they have to do. So show your expertise. Now, we have a separate media page on our website where when somebody wants to talk to us, here's the media page. The questions are there. The artwork is there. The best way to connect with us is there. It's not a public page. It's a private page. And you have to get the URL from us in order to get the media.
I'm not putting that in the chat.
No, that's not going in the chat. Finding podcasts that your Harriet is listening to, that's the first step. Then you're reaching out and contacting those folks.
I do have a list of like 600 and something podcasts that you're welcome to if you send an email and ask us for it, or book time with us, which we'll tell you about later. But ask for it. I'm happy to email it to you.
So, next, video. Video.
More and more and more video.
You have to get very good at using the video on your phone. Most of your social media pages are video. People like video. They like to watch video. They like to learn from video. When we stopped doing our podcast, I made a mistake. All of our system here, we have a mixer board, and I took it down thinking, oh yeah, I can just hook it back up. It's kind of like a stereo. No, there's a lot more buttons and dials and tweaks. So
again, his lane,
yeah,
not mine.
So I had to find a video, and it turned out I had to find the 5th video of how to set this particular mixer up the right way. I don't learn that way the best. I'm in the 1/3 of people that don't learn the best, but 2/3 of people learn best from video. They want to. I'm the one that they wrote the textbooks for, because I like going through the book and going, oh yeah, 2 pages back there was something that related to that, and being able to find the page. But I'm in the minority there. 2/3 of people want to learn, which is why YouTube is the 2nd biggest search engine behind Google. And guess who owns YouTube? You're right, Google. So they've kind of got that part of the market cornered. So if you are looking to be found, creating videos that talk about your expertise and helping people out is a great way for people to find you and want to connect with you. And again, if you're on social media, if you're looking to talk to people on your email list, hey, I just did this really cool video that talks about how to do this. Link. Video conference calls. Have you noticed in the last 4 months that the term Zoom has become a verb? Before the COVID, Skype was the #1. We'll be honest, we'll be on a Skype. For that it was, we'll do a Google Hangout. Now, Google just came up with Google Meet, so they're trying to make people want to do a Meet, but...
Pros and cons.
Yep. But Zoom, let's just Zoom later, it's becoming a verb. And that's in the last 4 months. We'll see what happens to Zoom. We'll see if it very much takes over Skype.
Skype is now owned by Microsoft. So that's a whole different slew of issues.
So when you're connecting on your social media, here's one of the things that I have done. I will see somebody post a really neat comment on someone else's post, and I'll sharing that. I will send a private message. Hey, loved your answer there. I saw that you are a fill in the blank. Want to get on a quick Zoom to get to know each other better. 10 minutes. Just want to see what you do so I know how to think of you when I meet somebody I should refer you to. it isn't so you can buy coaching. It is
when appropriate.
Yeah, when appropriate. I want to be able to refer business to you. So let's get on a quick call so I can learn a little more about you. Again, the proof is in the pudding. We do network people. We are actively looking to bring people together. So we're not just doing it to do it. We're not just looking as a sales tactic. We are actively looking to bring people together. Does that make sense? The karma of it, the subconscious of it, will come through. If you're looking to just sell your stuff, that will come through. You've got to be interested, and being a good networker is being interested in people. The amount of stuff, video that gets uploaded on a minute-by-minute basis is amazing. We're always amazed that anybody saw anything we did on any platform. But we tag it right. Now, the video clips, social platforms, yes. Here's a hint. This is important. Put a star. Write the star on your notes first. Put the star first, okay? Because this is important. You shoot a video here. You upload it to your YouTube channel. Most people will then try and share it from YouTube to their social media platform. Let's say Facebook. Did you know that YouTube and Facebook are owned by different people? Facebook, Sharon already said, doesn't want people to leave Facebook for any reason because they have ads they want to show you on Facebook. So if you go to a YouTube video, you're leaving Facebook and you're going to see other ads that Facebook didn't sell. YouTube sold them.
And who owns YouTube? It's not Facebook.
It's Google. So they're struggling for ad revenue, and by you going from your phone to YouTube to your social media platform, you're interrupting the flow. So once it's on your phone, you want to post it natively to YouTube, but also to your platform. More people will see it if you take it from your phone to your social media platform.
Or your laptop, whatever you're using, right?
Yep. Than if you go to YouTube and share it there. Way more. So understand that's why it's math, it's money, and that's why it happens that way.
Yeah.
So that was a star thing. That was really important. I hope you got that one. If not, come to Social Media Day on Friday. We'll go through it again.
Yes.
So it lets people get to know you better. We've seen a lot of people that when we turn the video on, they all of a sudden sat up, really straight, and they started talking far more formal in a more formal manner. Be who you are, because when they meet you, they're going to see that anyway. So you might as well just have fun.
Be personable, so you're attracting your Harriet.
Yeah.
Right? If you put on a false pretense, then you're going to attract the Harriet that's attracted to the false pretense and not to actually who you are.
And understand your personality, is your brand. It is that way. And if we turned this camera around, you would see that we have a script on the wall.
Oh.
And our script on the wall is the opening of our viewcast. And the reason we have the opening of the viewcast on a script is because it's new. And we are getting into the flow of it. We've done a half dozen of them. We're getting used to doing it, so we have our script. Now, you come back in 2 months, script will be gone, and we'll be in the flow. But right now, we're noticing, oh, we're a little chunky on that. Let's try it again. But we have our script. Yeah, it's okay. Start with a script. Get used to it. The more you do it, the better it'll get.
And if you don't have an actual, word-for-word script, right, it may just be the bullet points of what you want to say so that you're not really reading verbatim.
Yep. When I just shoot a video for one of our blogs, most often, if you can picture, the laptop camera is right at the center. Right next to the camera, I have a Post-it that has 5 or 6, bullet points that I know I've got to go through. These are the points I have to hit. At the bottom, there's always the call to action. So video has a sense of urgency to it because it's video, kind of like TV. And let's back up. if you're in the time period, if you're old enough to have been through TV seasons where you only got one shot at it, and then there was the repeat in the summer.
Yeah.
The sense of urgency for those that are for the end of millennials, for Gen Xers and boomers and such, video has a much stronger sense of urgency. Now, in the younger generations, it's urgency because most of those videos are quick and gone, and they disappear in a day. So video itself has more of urgency. When you shoot a video, you have created a digital asset that you can use over and over and over again. When we get a really good video, we share it all the time. Our blogs, when we do a blog, we share it all the time. So the time that you invest in doing the video is more valuable the more often that you share it. Now, we're not saying, hey, I shot this video on how to do this. We're not saying share it every day.
No.
Give it some time.
And there are tools that can help with that. And if you want to know some of those tools, then ask us on the call.
Yeah. And all of the social media platforms give video more weight because they know people want video. And video keeps them on the site. We do every night. I do a okay late night Facebookers question. From time to time, I'll make it a video question. Now, I've noticed that in the 9 or 10 years I've done this question every night, because I don't do video often, it doesn't get the same response.
I don't know if it's an often or if it's just that your audience.
Yeah, they tend to prefer the text.
Not into it.
So.
We're giving you some generalities, and as you work with them, you may find some specific things for your Harriet, right? The Harriet that's attracted to that question, maybe they're just not into listening to video at night because they're doing it while they're watching TV or a movie or something, and now you're, I have to pause it to do the question. Yeah.
It's really easy. We're not going to go into the basics of Facebook Lives here because we're going to do that on Friday.
Yeah.
But it is very simple. When you open any of your apps,
Facebook, LinkedIn, they both do live. You could do it on Instagram as well if that's your favorite platform.
Yep. They're not expecting perfection.
No. Your Harriet's not expecting perfection. Your Harriet doesn't want you to be perfect. Your Harriet wants to see how you handle your imperfections.
Where are we? Oh, look, it's there.
See, there's a slide. Rewind to, an hour ago or so. Yes, see that bottom point. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So if you, I was guilty of this until I learned this. I was one of those 3 strikes are out, right? I called you, I emailed you, I texted you, whatever those things are. You didn't respond. Okay, well, you must not be interested. I'm out. And then I learned this and went, oh, yikes, I'm leaving dollars on the table. So now when I get to that, oh, I feel like I've switched over from following up to stalker. There is a line. It's just, where is that line? I have to look at I do keep a list, right? Okay, on this date, at this time, I contacted this way. Right, I left a voicemail, I sent an email, whatever it was, right? So I look, have I gotten to 12? Oh, I'm only on 4. Oh, well, goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm not stalker yet. When I get to 10 or 11, I actually have been known to say that. I've been known to send an email or leave a voicemail and say, I know that there's a line between stalker and following up. So if I'm getting into stalker, then let me know. Otherwise, I'll follow up again in a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is.
So here's the cool thing about letting your clients know that you're doing a webinar. Celia from Florida, she mentioned you didn't say, when it came to video, you didn't let us know that some of those disappear really quickly, or the average length, or the length of the video should be.
Oh, I just linked it, yes. So well, we'll talk about more on
Thank you, Celia.
We'll talk about more on Social Media Day, but the quick answer for your videos is on Facebook, because I actually haven't read what LinkedIn wants. But on Facebook wants your video to be 10 minutes long, but your Harriet's probably not watching for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself, say whatever it was that prompted you to do a live, put that up there, say that in the first 90 seconds or so, and then vamp. Or if people are actually coming on, then repeat whatever that tip was that you wanted, so that you get to 10 minutes.
By the way, we know that this slide is like the third most popular slide we have of all of our slides.
This sales.
Yes. Here's how you get this one. If you send us an email with your mailing address, we will mail you an actual card with this on it.
Ooh.
You get the actual card that you can put up, and it'll act as a reminder. So let's talk about a bunch of ways to follow up, shall we?
We shall.
This is fun. Connecting on social media platforms is kind of an obvious one. Here's how you do that. Hey, folks, one of the best ways I can find you some business is if we're connected on Facebook. Find me, Hank, Hank, Yuloff. I am the only Hank Yuloff on Facebook. So it's easier if you find me. We'll get to know each other a little bit, and because I'm real close to 5,000 friends, I have my feed is going all the time with somebody that's looking for something. So let's connect. Let's get to become better friends. Wasn't hard. Now, if your name is Joshua Dunn, Joshua sent a text.
He's not on here.
One of our clients, his name is Josh Dunn, and when we were teaching him that, and he said, "Yeah, it doesn't work for me." Oh, really? Why? I thought, how many Joshua Dunn D-U-N-N could there be? He opened a Facebook group. There's 300 people in the group. Your name has to be Joshua Dunn to get in the group. Okay, then. Let's try another way. Yeah. Never knew our names were so common.
Would never have guessed that was a common name.
Shout outs. Did you just go to Red Rock Cafe and have lunch and it was great again? Shout it out. Our favorite restaurant in Sedona is Red Rock Cafe. Every time we go there, service is great, food's great, it's awesome. We always give them shout outs. Now, how has that come back to help us? One of our clients was driving through Sedona, Lydia and her husband, and they only had a short period of time to meet with us. They were going back to Utah. We walked into Red Rock. It's going to be about an hour, and then I waved the owner down. She said, "Follow me." So from time to time, it's going to help you save some time. But also, there's no reason not to promote people. Be positive. Now,
you want to be promoted, right? You want your people to shout you out. So if that's what you want, then put it out there so that karma knows to give it back to you.
Now, we have a really good blog about this. If you go to our blog, I think the title is How Celebrity Cruises Almost Lost a $100,000 Sale. And it explains this in a lot of detail. You'll notice that I said the word celebrity cruises. If they had lost the sale, their name wouldn't have been in the blog, which is a way of us teaching you, don't do the negative shout out on Facebook or any of the social media. Don't say, "I am so sick of," insert the name of your phone carrier and start to go on. Here's why. People read those, and one of the things they're going to read is, "Oh my God, if I ever messed up with them, what are they going to say about me?" Ouch. So let's keep that part positive. So social media shout-outs are good. If you're
it's the same rule with people, right? You want to praise in public and criticize in private.
Yep. It's one of the reasons we talk about 360 Auto, 360 Automotive in Cottonwood all the time. She's amazing. I think I don't know any better mechanics in the state of Arizona. She's that good. Plus, I can call her when I overfill my car with oil, and
she answers my text messages.
Yes. So connect them with a helpful resource. Be the connector. Look for those folks. And it may have nothing to do with you. That is okay. When you're having a conversation with somebody on the phone, oh, I think I know somebody who can help you with that. Do that. Ask to interview them. Zoom call. Record the Zoom call. Make the Zoom call all about them. You might have seen we're doing the marketing checklist viewcast. All we're doing is we're interviewing people, and now ours is going to be a little more formal, but you can just interview them and put them on your YouTube channel,
right? Which
is free, by the way. All you need is a Gmail address, and you can have a free YouTube channel. I know a couple of different people that I've now started looking. I will Google them from time to time, and when I type in their name, the interview I did of them is the #1 thing. And those interviews are both several years old. So ask to interview them. You can, if you have a friend, you interview them on one, they interview you on one, you both put it up on your YouTube channel, and you both send it out. It helps both of you. And refer someone to them. What's really fun is when you meet somebody for the very first time, the coolest thing in the world is to be able to refer to them. In a networking group that we're in, one of the members brought a woman who was a allergist. And as it happened that day, we came across 2 different people that needed an allergist. So we had met her that morning, and she got 2 referrals from us just because the karma of being out in the world and getting to know who people are helps. So you are going to have to do some getting, out from behind your desk, or unless that's where you're laughing.
Yeah.
Send a sample. How many of you have something that you sell? Show of hands. Send a sample without selling. In the mailings that we did, we sent out one of these just because. And the last mailing we sent, another promo product went in it. Now, we use a promo product because it makes the envelope bulky and people want to see what's in it. So that's one of the reasons we do it. But if you have a sample, just send them a sample. Just because, hey, I just got the sample in, thought of you. Before we moved from LA to here, I had promotional product person syndrome, which meant my garage was full of samples. It happens to everyone in that industry.
There were no cars in that garage.
Yes, we had a 4-car garage
for 17 years,
and never put a car in there.
No cars.
It was all racks of samples. And rather than move them, we had garage sales, and I have never mailed out more samples to people. Hey, just wanted to let you have this. I sent out boxes of, hey, here's some really cool stuff that could promote your business. Yeah, we got some business from it, but we also got rid of a whole lot of samples. Samples is a really nice way of doing it. It's why when you go into Costco, they're giving you cheese and all sorts of other things. Virtual coffee meeting. Interestingly, how many of these do you do a week?
My virtual, it's not really coffee, right? Virtual coffee. I don't know if, it probably averages to at least one a day.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually do it every single day, but, it kind of averages to about that.
See how fast you can get up to Sharon's average per day. The more of these that you do, the more the wheel starts to roll. Now, everyone, when Sharon meets somebody, and this is usually through LinkedIn, she asks, do you want to be on our list? Get all the free stuff we send out. And when we do a small business breakthrough boot camp, we invite them. We've got one, I think the last Saturday of July we're doing one. So having those meetings, and again, you want to make it more about them if possible. Have you ever been in a speed networking meeting that's put on by a chamber where you get 2 minutes with each person and then you move on to the next person? When I do that, I virtually tell the person, you know what, why don't you take all 2 minutes? Well, but then I won't know what you do. You'll know what I do. Because I ask questions that relate to how my business relates to them because I'm interested in what they're doing. Plus, if you move to the next one, I always give them a copy of one of our books. You know, I wanted to get to know you. What you do. If you want to know what we do, here, take this. And depending on what they do, I'll give them the marketing checklist book. I'll give them a social media book. I'll give them our HR book. I'll give them our sales book. Because I'll ask, hey, how's sales is sales a pain in the neck for you? And if that is, I'll give them the sales book. Buy their product. We're on auto ship from half a dozen different network marketing companies because we like their products. We're always looking who can we buy, whose product can we buy? I would much rather buy from a small business person than I would from a large box store. There's a meme right now, small business. I think it's buy small business. That's the hashtag that's going around at the moment. Looking for small businesses that are selling their product. If you see somebody that's promoting their product on social media, share it. Hey, this looks really cool. Anybody need this? Guarantee you nobody else is doing it. Or you that are here are going to do it, but that's okay. If you used a product, review it, only if it's positive. If it was negative, find the one thing that was great and say, you know what? I liked this product for this thing. And you can outsource your follow-up. There are virtual assistants, or there are high school kids that if you find the right kid or the right college student, say, all right, here are the emails I need to send. This is the script, and here's the list of email addresses. Do not make one at a time goes out. You can do it with your text messages too. Here's the phone. Here's the list of phone numbers. This message to each one at a time. So you don't have to do all of them. We talked earlier about texting. Texting is such a cool, neat, easy thing to do.
My favorite.
When Sharon and I used to go to baseball games, remember going to baseball games? The fourth inning.
The season is starting.
Yeah, the fourth inning was text inning. We would, in the fourth inning, each, as between pitches, go through our contact list and send that message. Hey, thought of you just now. Hope you're having a great day. Gifts, if appropriate, kind of cool. We've one of my favorite gift stories is I have been tweeted by famous people. Gonna have to come to social media today to find out who it is. We were at a seminar that she was teaching, and it was awesome. So I sent her brownies. She tweeted me. If you have the appropriate gift, it's okay to send an appropriate gift. Don't just do it to do it. Okay. Video emails, really important. You can put it, record that video, send it out in an email, phone call. We've talked about those. Want to get to the bottom of this one, the magazine article. You're going to see magazines. You're going to see articles on the web. Print it out and put it in the mail with a note that says, saw this, thought you might like it, and that's it. You don't put your sales flyer in it. But this is one that, let us say that your target market were insurance agents, and it was a really great article about how the insurance industry is being affected by COVID. Print it out 20 times, send it to 20 different agents with a note, post it, saw this, thought of you, hope your business is great, and your business card goes in. That's it. There's solar on our house because somebody did that. Some networking do's and don'ts. This photo should never be used because in the background it says, who wants to day drink? Your photos are being looked at, so be very careful on what you are doing. The guy on the right, don't screen print that on your jacket. That kind of, self-fulfilling. That guy actually walked up to us at a networking event. The bank, Mark at Country Bank, he got tired of people asking him if he had any free samples. So he put a whole bunch of $2 bills into an envelope, and he used those. Kind of fun. This is the networking one. There's Lucy being used. We have our spinning thing. Always fun to do. You don't say happy birthday by promoting your business. Just say happy birthday. In fact, Facebook is really nice. They give you an entire list of people to say happy birthday to. I actually use that as a way of figuring out who I can delete from my Facebook friends, because if the happy birthday that I put on this year, and when I look at their page and I can find my happy birthday real simple from last year, oh, they're not using Facebook anymore, I delete them on the friend list. But don't do it by saying, X car dealer wants to wish you a very happy... No, don't. Keep the social in social media. Here's a couple of people that did it the way wrong way, so I promote them. Don't do what they did.
Yeah.
A networking do. There are local newspapers. Ask them if they'd like articles. We put articles into a lot of different papers, and one of them even gives us ads. That was really cool of them. All right, we've gone through a whole bunch. Let's get you off to a fast start, shall we? A word about writing your elevator speech. Remember, we do not start with, hi, my name is, right? Cool. If you want us to take a look at your elevator speech, info at Uloft Creative, we will look at it. 7 people you have to connect with at your networking event. Always make sure that you, even a virtual event, make sure you know who the executive director is and ask the director who's going to be running it. You want to make sure that you know who those people are and you're connecting with them. And afterwards, you're sending your thank you note, either an email or an actual thank you note, because you want to stand out. One of the coolest things you can do, take a screenshot of the Zoom call if it's a networking group that way, and promote it afterwards and say, hey, thanks to X group, thanks to the Sedona Chamber of Commerce for putting on this event. Tag them.
And tag as many members as you are connected with already.
You need to raffle. Now, when somebody needs raffle prizes, yes, here's our book. How many of them would you like? And this is when we use the actual books. Do not use one of those companies that just does a gift card, like a coffee place. They'll never remember you. It should be something that has to do with what you do.
Now, I think it's Jordan. I have to scroll through the chat again. Jordan, if I've got that right, that you've got that photo booth thing, right? If you want to do a gift card for your stuff, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is, don't use a gift card for some other business that has nothing to do with you. They're not going to remember that that's where they got it from.
Go to our Facebook page. Grab this. This meme is there all the time. Understand that there are things that you can do that require zero talent. You have to be really good at those. You all showed up on time. Well done. You all took notes. Great job. Being coachable. Great. Going the extra mile. This meme, steal it from our Facebook page. It will remind you of the attitude that you need to show toward your business. Make sure you have your marketing plan done. We have noticed that seems to be lacking in COVID time. Your time, your dollars, how you are going to be doing it. Because if you have your plan done and you've got it properly proportioned out, your business will get higher. In fact, I think if you would put it into the chat, if someone wants to come, we're going to do a one-day boot camp.
Okay. And
Sharon's going to put that in the chat if you want to come. We'll put your plan together in a day. You have to take immediate action. You've got to. If you learned all of these things today, if you don't make a plan to get started with at least a couple of them, like right now, I'm going to be disappointed because we want you to make your marketing much better. So if you learned something, or you remembered something you knew before, and you want to make that happen, we want to give you the magic button to press. You've seen it a few times on your screen. If you go to freemarketingconsultation.com and you get us for a half hour, most people report back that that call was worth $10,000 to them, either in increased sales or in savings of what they were doing incorrectly. If you do that, you're going to get our Discover 10 ways that, to get on, be found for free on the internet right now. So all you have to do is book time with us, because we want to make sure that we answer your questions that you had from today's webinar. So also, if you'd like to come to our boot camp, we're going to be doing that. I checked. I put the wrong date on there, the July one. We're going to be doing one the last Saturday of July, it's the 25th. If you would like that, you can do that. So there are a bunch of ways that you get for free stuff. Follow up with us. Ask whatever questions you have, and we have just a couple minutes left. Are there questions that are in the chat that we haven't covered?
In the chat, you're welcome to put questions in the chat. You can also hit that Q&A button with the question mark. For me, it's in the lower left-hand corner. For you, it might be up in the upper bar. And we can unmute you if you want to have a conversation instead. Otherwise, you can put it in the chat.
Well, cool. And I saw you've been typing away, so you're answering questions and such. Good job.
Yes, usually it's a conversation.
So well done. You know where to go. You know your next steps. Networking is a great way to build your business. In fact, when you come to our boot camp, we are able to do a lot of connecting there too. So thanks. Remember, our motto is, if everything happens for a reason,
be the reason things happen.
So we want to help you out with all of that. So we're going to hang out for a few minutes here in case you have questions. Otherwise, thanks. Have a great day. Go put your notes into action right away.
And maybe we'll see you on Friday at Social Media Day.
Yes, Social Media Day is going to be fun.
Yes, same login, same everything. So you don't have to worry about registering. You can just go to that same link.
Awesome.
All works.
Why don't we stop recording and take it out of Q&A, so if they want to ask live questions, they can do that.
Well, that's great.